I would like to show you how we make the most professional Super 8 camera ever out of an old Beaulieu 4008 by an overhaul and some rebuilding. The work is done in a professional workshop. As you can see, a factory-equipped Beaulieu 4008 has two motors mounted next to the lens. One of the motors adjusts the focal length, the other automatically controls the aperture and adjusts it as lighting conditions change. These motors are not really necessary for operating a Super 8 camera. In many cases, they can even interfere with the professional work. You can't just change the speed of the focal length adjustment when filming, for example. If you're doing it by hand, it's not a problem to change the focal length speed while the camera is running. That's up to you. The camera is more malleable and lighter without the motors. You can simply adjust the focal length by hand. To make sure that the lever is in the right place and that you can operate the camera well, an additional hole at 6mm is drilled into which the lever can be screwed. The original thread was drilled at 66mm during manufacture. Using the updated 6mm position makes much more sense because the lever is easier to grip there. When the motors are mounted, no lever can sit there. Clear? Right. The aperture can be easily adjusted by hand. The light meter continues to work and a correct setting is indicated by the pointer in the viewfinder. The lever for the close-up setting continues to work, but it's a bit smaller and harder to operate. When the camera is modified, the built-in daylight filter is always removed and the optical system is reset. The filter is included in the calculation of the optics, so it is important to readjust, i.e. colmate, the system. The small slot where the filter key is inserted to swap the filters in and out is closed by a light seal. The electronics and mechanics of the transport are always checked, cleaned, re-greased and then adjusted. After 40 to 50 years, this is always urgently necessary. Another important rebuilding measure concerns the power supply of the camera. The old nickel-cadmium cells are definitely gone. Even if they were replaced years ago, the capacity is almost always so low that the cells have to be changed. The modified version of the Beaulieu 4008 uses modern Panasonic Enulope microcells. They have a capacity that is sufficient for over 20 movies. This gives you the assurance that the battery will last through a long day of shooting. They also hold voltage longer when stored and also when used. The cells can still do a lot when cold. I'll show you that in another video. So that you can quickly recharge the battery itself has a plug contact. There is a JST connector built in. This plug is common in model making. Other suppliers of renewed batteries do without the additional plug. The battery then must be charged via the socket on the camera. However, the camera's electronics are only designed for 30 milliamps per hour. If the current is more than 20 times that, the electronics in the camera will be damaged. I had tried it once, and after a short time smoke rose from the camera and I had to stop the attempt. Even if the camera does not smoke, high current is harmful. Each battery is fitted with a new contact plate for optimal connection to the camera. With the basic overhaul and the multitude of modifications presented, you will get a really professional Super 8 camera with which you will shoot many good reels.